Today we're taking a look at these college basketball matches, which are happening on Saturday, February 11th, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and make sure to watch it till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Also check out our Patreon if you want access our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link in description and comments section below. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comment section below. Ball State Cardinals versus Bowling Green Falcons. Ball State has beaten the spread in 3 of their last 4, including their win over Bowling Green less than 2 weeks ago. In the first game, they outshot Bowling Green by 8.9%, out-rebounded them by 7, and made more free throws than Bowling Green attempted. The Cardinals never trailed in that game. Bowling Green's defense struggles to force misses, and Ball State's offense is one of the most efficient in the country at scoring. It proved to be a great mismatch in the first game, and now that Ball State is home, I expect a similar result. Ball State will cover. Leon Ayres III leads the Bowling Green offense this season, averaging 18.4 points per game on 49.5% shooting from the floor. Samari Curtis averages 12 points per game to go along with a team-leading 4.3 assists, and Caden Matheny is scoring 11 points per game as well. Rashawn Agee leads Bowling Green, averaging 6.2 rebounds per game to go along with 10.7 points as well. Ball State goes back home Saturday afternoon, 10 games about .500 on a 4-game win streak following a 14-point victory over Central Michigan. Offensively, Ball State was the better team, making 45.7% of their shots and knocked down 5 long balls to score 65 points after a 37-point first half. Defensively, Ball State controlled the game as well, allowing only 51 points and forced 13 total turnovers. Jaron Coleman is the offensive leader for Ball State this season, averaging 14.9 points per game on 38.4% shooting from the floor. Jalen Sellers averages 13.1 points, and big man Peyton Sparks averages 12.4 points and 18, leading 8.2 rebounds per game. Demarius Jacobs averages 12.1 points to go along with a team-high 3.5 assists. Our total pick is under 151.5 points. Auburn Tigers versus Alabama Crimson Tide. The Tigers have been dominant at home this season, earning an 11-1 straight-up record. Auburn, 7-3 against the spread in its last 10 overall, will keep this game closer than expected on Saturday. Alabama is in a class of its own, and Auburn is 1-4 in its past 5, but there's reason to believe the home team can make this a watchable game, at the least. The Tigers are 14th in defensive efficiency and hold their opponents under 27.2% from 3, as long as they hold their own on the glass, limiting Alabama's second-chance scoring opportunities, and don't foul as often as they did versus Texas A&M, they'll have a shot. In this edition of the Iron Bowl, the Tigers will scratch and claw to keep the game respectable. If Clowney can't play or isn't fully healthy, that will improve their chances of keeping the final score within 10. Our team pick is Auburn plus 2.5 points. Brandon Miller is the offensive leader for Alabama this season, averaging 19 points per game on 45.7% shooting to go along with the team leading 8.2 rebounds as well. Mark Sears averages 13.9 points per game, and Noah Clowney is averaging 10 points per game as well. Jeffin Quinterly averages 7.5 points and a team-leading 3.6 assists. The Auburn Tigers head back home Saturday afternoon, 10 games above .500 following a 5-point loss to Texas A&M. Offensively, Auburn did shoot the ball well, making nearly 47% of their shots and knocked down 9 long balls, but made only 64.3% of their free throws and turned the ball over 10 times, resulting in the loss. Defensively, Auburn did have issues as Texas A&M scored 83 points, including 46 in the second half on nearly 43% shooting from the floor. Wendell Green Jr. leads the Auburn offense this season, averaging 13.9 points per game on 37.8% shooting to go along with a team-leading 4.4 assists as well. Jalen Williams is averaging 10.5 points, and Alex Flanagan chips in 9.5 points per game as well. Johnny Broome is averaging 13.7 points per game to go along with a team-high 9 rebounds as well. Our total pick is over 148.5 points. Florida Atlantic Owls versus Louisiana Tech Bulldogs. According to Ken Palm's adjusted efficiency margin, there is a massive difference as Florida Atlantic is 34th in the sport with A+ 16.26 rating, while Louisiana Tech is 145th in the nation with A+ 1.76 rating so far. These offenses have been doing extremely differently in the last 5 games, as the Bulldogs are averaging 63.6 points per game while the Owls are scoring 77.8 points per game. When looking at the last 10 games, Louisiana Tech is 5-5 ATS while Florida Atlantic is 9-1 ATS, so go with the FAU Owls to cover the spread. The defenses lately are showing that they are limiting points, as Louisiana Tech is giving up 64.3 points in their last 3 games while FAU is allowing 69.8 points in their previous 5 games. These teams are not grabbing many offensive rebounds in the previous 3 games, as the Owls are averaging 6.7 offensive rebounds per game in that stretch, while the Bulldogs are grabbing 7.7 offensive rebounds per game. Go with the under in this game, as it seems to be the difference here. North Carolina Tar Heels versus Clemson Tigers. Clemson has lost against the spread in 3 straight games, and North Carolina has lost 5 in a row. North Carolina has been dominant at home this year in Lifetime versus Clemson. Clemson has been struggling on the road recently. Look for North Carolina to take command of this game early. Take the Tar Heels to cover. North Carolina has gone under the point total in 7 of their last 8 games. Clemson has a solid defensive unit, and they have gone under the point total in 3 of their last 5 games. Clemson and North Carolina currently rank 175th and 35th in pace of play respectively. Most signs point to a lower scoring affair. Look for this game to go under. Connecticut Huskies versus Creighton Blue Jays. Creighton has won versus the spread in 4 of their past 6 games and 2 of the last 3 at home. Connecticut has gone 3-3 versus the spread in their last 6 games. While Connecticut did manage to beat Creighton for the first time at home earlier this year, they have been unable to beat them in the CHI Health Center. Creighton has almost been unbeatable at home this season. Look for this trend to continue. Our team pick is to take Creighton -4 points. Creighton has gone under the point total in 4 straight games and 5 of their last 7 games. They have held their opponent to 67 or less points in 4 straight games. Look for the Huskies to try to slow the pace of the game down on the road to attempt to remain competitive. Creighton and Connecticut currently rank 143rd and 127th in pace of play respectively. Most signs point to a lower scoring affair. Look for this game to go under 143 points. Northern Iowa Panthers versus Indiana State Sycamores. Indiana State has covered each of its last 5 games, and one of those 5 was a 79-71 victory over Northern Iowa, and the Sycamores covered as 6-point home favorites. Northern Iowa has failed to cover the spread in each of its last 2 and 3 of the last 4, which includes its loss to Indiana State. The Panthers will have a hard time containing the Indiana State offense that is scoring an average of 78.8 points per game, which is 32nd in the nation, and has the 30th best field goal shooting percentage at 47.9%. Indiana State is allowing an average of only 30.2 rebounds per game, and the Sycamores are giving up an average of just 6.7 offensive boards per game, which is 24th in the nation. Our team pick is Indiana State Sycamores -3.5 points. Courvoisier Macaulay is leading Indiana State in scoring and rebounding with averages of 16.5 points and 5.8 rebounds per game. Cameron Henry is the second leading scorer and the leader in assists with averages of 10.7 points and 3.8 assists per game. Indiana State has 4 players averaging double figures in scoring, and as a team is scoring an average of 78.8 points per game. Northern Iowa looks to snap a 4-game losing streak with a victory at home on Saturday when hosting Indiana State. Northern Iowa is 12-13 overall and 8-7 in MVC play following its 71-59 loss to Evansville on Wednesday. The leading scorer for Northern Iowa was Titan Anderson with 14 points, but the Panthers as a team shot only 39.3% overall and committed 19 turnovers to only 10 for Evansville. Bowen Bourne is leading Northern Iowa in scoring and assists with averages of 18.5 points and 2.8 assists per game. Titan Anderson is the second leading scorer and the leading rebounder with averages of 12.6 points and 9.3 rebounds per game. Northern Iowa has only 3 players averaging double figures in scoring, and as a team is scoring an average of 70.4 points per game. Our total pick is over 147.5 points. Drake Bulldogs versus Southern Illinois Salukis. Southern Illinois has a very strong defense that is allowing an average of only 61.1 points per game, but the Salukis' offense scores an average of only 66.7 points per game. In contrast, Drake is allowing an average of 65.2 points per game and scores an average of 10.5 points more per game at 75.7 points. Drake's defense is in the top 40 in both field goal shooting percentage allowed at 40.8% and three-point shooting percentage allowed at 30.6%. Southern Illinois has struggled to cover the number over the last 5 games, covering just 1 of 5. In the first meeting between the two, Southern Illinois defeated Drake at home 53-49 and covered the spread, but will be on the road for its second meeting, which give Drake the advantage in this very equally matches MVC encounter. Our team pick is Drake Bulldogs minus 6.5 points. The Bulldogs return home for the first time in a week. Drake has been playing great ball as of late. They have won 5 straight games, including an impressive 79-61 victory over the Belmont Bruins. They have been scoring at will, and while their defense haven't been completely shutting other squads' own, they have been doing enough. They have continued to climb the ranks, and are proving they are a force to be reckoned with. This game begins a 2-game road trip for the Salukis. Southern Illinois has bounced back with 2 straight wins after losing 2 straight games. They have been streaky, which has made it difficult to gain traction in the standings, but they cannot be taken lightly or they will make you pay. However, they will be in tough on the road here, so it will take a lot to steal a win. Tucker DeVries has been on fire lately and the spotlight has been on him during Drake's winning streak. He eats huge minutes and makes them count by scoring at a great pace. If the Salukis manage to shut him down, it will only allow the depth of the Bulldogs to shine. This is a matchup that could determine this game. Our total pick is over 128.5 points. Bradley Braves versus Murray State Racers. When diving into Ken Palm's adjusted efficiency margin this season, there is a clear difference as Bradley is 86th in the nation with a plus 9.21 rating this year, while Murray State is 219th in college basketball with a minus 3.64 rating so far. The major difference recently has been definitive as the Racers are giving up 91 points in their last 3 games while the Braves are allowing just 64.5 points in their previous 4 games played. All in all, go with the Bradley Braves to cover the spread here. Our team pick is Bradley Braves minus 11.5 points. Rob Perry is the offensive leader for Murray State this season, averaging 14.8 points per game, 143.7% shooting from the floor. Jamari Smith averages 11.7 points per game and Jacoby Wood is scoring 10.9 points to go along with team-leading 4.6 assists. DJ Burns leads Murray State, averaging 6.9 rebounds per game to go along with 8.8 points as well. The Bradley Braves return home Saturday afternoon 10 games above .500 on a 5-game win streak following an 18-point victory against Illinois State. Defensively, Bradley played great, allowing only 61 points including just 21 in the first half on 40% shooting, and Bradley forced 12 turnovers as well. Offensively, Bradley was by far the better team, making nearly 51% of their shots and not beyond 8 long balls to score 79 points in the win. Rienk Mast is the offensive leader for Bradley his season, averaging 14.1 points per game of 52.8% shooting to go along with team-leading 8.1 rebounds as well. Malevi Leons averages 12.2 points per game and Jashawn Henry is scoring 9.4 points per game as well. Duke Dean averages 10.9 points as the third Bradley player in double figures to go along the team-leading 2.9 assists as well. Our total pick is under 138.5 points. Notre Dame fighting versus Virginia Tech Hokies. Notre Dame is still fighting this season, as 3 of their last 4 games they were very competitive. They beat Louisville, lost by 2 to Georgia Tech, and only lost by 3 to a strong NC State team. Virginia Tech is far from a powerhouse in the conference. They just lost to Boston College and previously had a 7-game losing streak in conference play this season. VTech is getting credit for beating Virginia recently, but that was a huge rivalry game on their home floor. They will not have the same energy as they travel to Notre Dame. This Irish team has shooters that can space the floor and will find success against the Hokies' defense. Notre Dame has been playing much better the past couple games and will keep that momentum here. Take Notre Dame plus the 4.5 points at home. All recent trends are point toward the over in this one. Virginia Tech has gone over the total in 5 straight games, and 7 of their last 8. VTech's tempo is only ranked 204th in the nation, but that hasn't stopped overs from cashing. The Hokies' efficiency on offense has counteracted their tempo, allowing them to still put up numbers because their offense is ranked 33rd in efficiency. Notre Dame has been hitting overs as well. They have gone over the total in 8 of their last 10 games. Notre Dame's overs are partly due to their poor defense. They have allowed 80 or more points in 4 of their last 6 games. Follow the trends in this one. Our total pick is to take over 143.5 points.